Hi, welcome to Community Connections. My name is Jane Powell. This is a show about community involvement, showcasing community partners. Today, my guest is going to talk to us about the Education Alliance. Dr. Amelia Courts, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me, Jane.
So, the Education Alliance, that could be so many things, so I'm anxious for you to tell us about it.
Sure. The Education Alliance is a statewide nonprofit organization that brings business and community support to public education.
I love that. So, I know you focus on the students, but you do that through working with the school and business partners.
Absolutely. We are really pleased to have a rich history. Our organization actually celebrated our 35th anniversary this year.
Wow.
But our roots are really grounded in a group of business leaders that are dedicated to bringing their support and also community leaders to public education, and they do that in a number of ways throughout the 35-year history. But even today, we have a fabulous board of directors, and we're so pleased also to really to benefit from the support of organizations like the Greater Community Kanawha Valley Foundation.
And it's a mouthful. I agree.
Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, who has really been a long-standing partner of the Education Alliance.
Yeah, well, we're so happy about that relationship. And through your work, you touch a lot of students.
We do. We're a small organization, but as I mentioned, we're statewide. Our office is here in Charleston, but we actually have programs across the state. In the Eastern Panhandle, the southern part of West Virginia, and northern. And we reach about 40,000 students every year in various programs and different aspects of our work.
40,000, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you are a small organization, so you get some help through volunteers, is that right?
We do. We actually have 40 community volunteers that are actually part of our organization. They're AmeriCorps members, and they do mentoring with students. So that is one group of helpers that really are based across West Virginia, and they reach a number of students every single day, and they're really bringing that caring adult perspective to the students, which we know in today's world there are so many students that don't have a caring adult in their life, and so obviously the educators across the state are working hard, and the principals to be that caring adult, but this is an extra set of hands, an extra set of feet to really put in motion some of those supports for students that need it.
It has been my experience when I've watched students interact with AmeriCorps volunteers across different programs. That is such a special relationship. They seem to relate so well.
It is. It's a powerful relationship, and the schools actually select their AmeriCorps members from their own communities, so they know the individuals that are going to bond well with their students and really reach their students and be able to bring that extra help that students need.
Oh, that's really great. So you are statewide, and 40,000 kids and just hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers. I read that you touch 96% of the schools, and that is just a phenomenal statistic to me.
Well, that actually goes back to our history. We started a program in about 25 years ago called the Partnerships in Education, which a lot of our principals and teachers will know that program very well. That is the program that connects schools with at least one business partner. And as we think about what's in the news every day, crises that various communities face, everything from the flood that happened several years ago in the Kanawha Valley here to the opioid crisis. Schools do need extra help, and so what we're privileged to be a part of is bringing the business community alongside to help local schools meet their different needs. And so that Partnerships in Education program is one very widespread program that we have across the state.
I love that, because It takes a lot of people.
It does. It
Yes.
does.
So I know with the partners and with your staff and the school staff, the goal is to prepare the child, to get the child to graduate, and perhaps move on to what comes next.
Yes.
Some sort of technical education or a college degree, is that right?
Well, that is part of our vision and mission as an organization, to make sure that every student graduates ready for that next step. And really, that's an exciting thing in our focus right now, is this effort called the West Virginia Ready Graduate. Our mission and vision obviously have been around for many years,
Right.
and we have various programs that drive towards that mission. But in the last year, starting in 2018, we really took a hard look at what does it mean to be ready. You know, we use that word ready,
Yeah.
and we've had a long-standing emphasis on dropout prevention. The AmeriCorps program that I just mentioned actually helps students that are at risk of dropping out. So we've been focused on dropout prevention, but recently we really said, obviously it's important to get that high school diploma, but that can't be the end goal. So what does it mean for a student to be ready for the next step when they graduate from college? So we took on a process called developing a portrait or a profile of a graduate, and we brought together business leaders, educators, higher education folks, parents, and students, and they developed a one-page, just a quick snapshot of the knowledge, skills, and characteristics that students need to be ready.
Wow. Because I guess it does mean something to everyone. Yeah, I like that.
And also, it's changed. If you think about the world today, what it takes to be ready, business leaders and folks from higher education will tell you that the things they're looking for today are not the things from 25 years ago. You know, things like rote memory were very important probably 20, 30 years ago when we had to rely on the encyclopedia.
Right.
But now, you know, people can Google anything at the snap of their fingers and find out facts and little things that used to be important for memory. Now, obviously, we still want our students to be very grounded in reading, math, science, social studies, history, the arts. In addition to that, well-rounded students also have strong communication skills.
Yes.
You know that, right?
I like that.
They're able to collaborate. They're able to think critically and problem solve. They have a strong work ethic. They're focused on wellness. All of those characteristics really make up this very cool portrait of a graduate that we're calling West Virginia Ready Graduate. And
I love this program.
so now, instead of just driving towards the diploma, we're really working with our partners, our business community, our higher education, and our schools to say, let's talk about this idea of readiness with our students and our families, make sure that they really have a clear understanding of their own personal goals for readiness.
I love that. I know, I'm guessing you have a summer internship program, so I'm thinking that must play into helping them get ready.
Absolutely.
For life after graduation.
Absolutely. So the first step of this process was to develop the portrait of a graduate, right, that outlines these knowledge, skills, and characteristics. And if folks would like to learn more about this, I would encourage them to visit wvgraduate.com. Okay?
wvgraduate.com.
Right. But as with, which by the way, this was chaired by, this committee was chaired by two business leaders, Leah Curry, the president of Toyota, and Pat Kelly, the president of the Hospital or Healthcare Association. And so business leaders are all about the goal, but then quickly move to action. So they said, now that we have this portrait, let's do something about it. And one of the needs that they identified was to give students more real-world learning opportunities through internships. So this past summer, we had a pilot program, and we had students that actually applied for and were selected for a paid 4-week summer internship at Toyota, Appalachian Power, and Cabell Huntington Hospital.
Wow, that's great experience.
So you can see in that experience, we represent 3 of the largest industries in West Virginia, healthcare, manufacturing, and energy.
Right.
The students got behind the scenes. I mean, this was not making copies and bringing coffee. This was a really intense, hands-on summer internship, and they experienced all aspect of the work. And yesterday we actually had a debrief with the employers, and it was amazing. It was life-changing for the students.
I bet.
100% of them said it was a game changer. They would highly recommend it for their peers, and the businesses as well said this was really a great thing that we need to do more of.
I would imagine, and it shows them what the high school graduate is.
Absolutely.
And where they're coming from. I guess to meet them, right?
Yes, yes. It was obviously designed for the interns to benefit, but the employers said their team members benefited as well. They got fresh ideas from young people and had an opportunity to really see the future of their workforce. And, you know, it was working on these types of skills every day. They coached the students, the interns, so they didn't just, you know, have an opportunity to observe, but they would work on things like communication. They had to do a presentation at the end, and so they provided really high quality coaching. This is what a business presentation looks like, and this is how you summarize all of your information. So,
yeah, oh, just great experience.
it was wonderful.
Yeah, so you mentioned a website that people could learn, but Education Alliance has a website.
Yes.
And that's a great place to learn about the programs that you're doing and to reach out if someone might have a way that they wanted to become involved.
Absolutely. We talked earlier about those partnerships in education that are across the state. Our goal this year is to really revitalize those partnerships and make them strategic. So we're looking for business partners that want to take on a summer internship next summer. We would love to help connect you and provide that opportunity. We're looking for community partners that would like to be a part of enhancing job shadowing or even just speaking to a local school. Anything to really make those partnerships more about readiness and more real world for students.
And the 3 partnerships that you mentioned with the internships are pretty big corporations, companies. It doesn't have to be. I'm guessing a smaller office could also have an intern.
You were reading my mind. Absolutely. We know that small employers are very important to West Virginia's economy, so we are certainly looking for some small business leaders to step up and partner with us.
That's great. So to learn more about the Education Alliance, we want everyone to visit educationalliance.org, or the telephone number is 304-342-7850. And I would encourage you when you go to the website to visit the information about your upcoming Education Summit. Dr. Courts, tell me a little bit about the summit.
Sure. The summit is October the 30th, so we have open registration right now, and you can do that from our website. The target audience for the summit is really unique. We do invite business leaders, community leaders, and educators. It's a full day summit where we're going to talk about this idea of the West Virginia Ready Graduate and have great dialogue about how to form partnerships to
And that's
support
here in
that.
Charleston,
It is.
October 30th at Embassy Suites. And you can learn about that on the website, educationalliance.org. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Jane.
Thank you. It's been fun to learn about the Education Alliance and the good work that's happening. Thank you all.